last couple of hours, hour and a half, you will get this. I'll show you. It's this. It's this. It's this. It's an envelope. I'm going to put it here. It's a prediction, if you like, a prediction of the future, of decisions that you're going to make, which will lead to what's in that envelope. And you have to. You can't not make those decisions. You can't not make decisions that will lead to what's in there. It's inevitable. What's in there is inevitable. Ish. Okay. I'm going to throw these out. These are heavier than you think, so if one comes at you, please catch it, all right? Don't sit there going, no, I won't, because it will just, you know, they are heavy. These are today's papers. Today's papers, you grab them for me there. Thank you. It's the Times. Let's go over there. Somebody catch for me. Sorry. Daily Mail over there. Thank you very much. Okay. Daily Mail. Oh, we've had the Daily Mail. I'm sorry. Independent. Let's get one up there. Catch for me. Thank you. Got another Independent. There are a couple of duplicates. So somebody catch this up there. Ready? Oh, heavy, heavy. You all right? You okay? Count the buttons. Have a go. Just go and get it. Whose phone's that? Whose phone was that? Don't answer it. It's really bad news. The Sun. Great, thank you. Let's get another one up there. This is the Mirror, Daily Mirror. Somebody catch? Will you throw that one back again for me so somebody else gets it? Try and get that one round towards the middle there, all right? Telegraph, over there, downstairs. Somebody catch for me, please. And can we move that one that way a little bit? Just trying to spread them all out. And the Guardian, you have the one over there if you like. And the Evening Standard. All right, spread this one out. I'll move it. It won't go as far. Will you throw it over that way, please, so they all spread out? That is 10 of today's papers. Now we need Danny. Danny with the case. Do you want your necklace back, Danny? Where are you? Where are you, Danny? Bring the case up. Head up here quick as you can. Keep it going for Danny. Come on, Danny, run. Let's keep it going for Danny. Danny, thank you so much. Please check your necklace is okay. What paper do you read, by the way? What do you read? What? Okay, let me just get rid of that. Sorry, let me chuck that down there. Any of you... Sorry, is that all right? Do you want to put it in your pocket for now? Rather than put... Yeah, great. Come and stand over here for me. Okay, if any of you have got the papers that match the papers you read at home or anything, just please take them home with you so you can check at the end, you know, that they are real papers, which they are. It'll give you a chance to check that. Okay, so you tried lots of different numbers on here? Yeah, any luck at all?
No.
No. Did you try your birthday?
No.
No? Sometimes people do. Okay, but you tried lots of different numbers and... Okay, all right. Good. Good. Okay, so we need to get this open. So, could you, if you've got a paper in your hand, I'd like you just to hold it up in the air for me and just wave it in the air. Leave the band on it, but move it around, please. Keep it waving. Will you please choose someone who's got their hand up?
Over there in the green.
Lady in the green, do you stand up for me for a second? Thank you so much. Ready, we can put your papers down. Okay, your name, please?
Kirsty.
Kirsty, thank you. And the paper you've got is?
The Daily Mail.
The Daily Mail, thank you so much. Are you happy to do this with Kirsty?
Yep.
Yep, happy to do it with the Daily Mail?
Yeah.
Yep, okay, and if you are, because all these things we can change as you go along, all right? You need to know these are your decisions that you can change. Great. So, Kirsty, for now, I'll ask you to sit back down, and the rest of you, take your papers, please, home with you. Kirsty will come back to you in a second. All right, so look, if I asked you, turn and face me, if I asked you what the combination was in that lock, you'd have to say you didn't know. Yeah. Because there's no way that you could know, all right? But part of that is you thinking it's impossible. Because it sounds impossible, but, you know, there's only 3 numbers you've got to get. You know which number's between 0 and 39, because you'll have worked that out. Yeah. So if I told you that you did know what the numbers were, all right? And instead of you going, oh, I don't know what they are, just to think, yes, I do know what they are. Like you're playing a game where you're pretending to be psychic and thinking, yes, I know what the numbers are. Does that make sense? So you think it's easy. It's an easy thing to know. So if I told you you knew the first number in the combination, what is that? What's the first number? Say it.
1.
You think it's 1. Then turn it to 1. Turn it to 1. Excellent. Come back to me. All right. So you've had 1 as the first number in the combination. So now we've got the next number in the combination, all right? So again, just believing that you know it. Don't think, oh, you're just thinking, yes, I do know it, all right? So what's the next number in the combination that will open the padlock? What is it? Between 0 and 39. It's not going to be 1, 2, 3, all right? So what's the next number in the combination? Look at me.
24.
24. Very good. Turn it to 24. Excellent, very good. These numbers just popping into your head, yes? Yep. Okay, so we've had 1 and we've had 24. Now, what's the last number going to be, look at me, in the combination which opens the padlock? What's the last number?
15.
Say?
15.
15. No, but you're slightly questioning it. You want to change one of those 2 digits. You're going to change the 1 or the 5?
The 5.
The 5, great. And what are you going to change it for?
3.
3. So the final number is?
13.
13. Turn it to 13 for me. And pull.
Down.
Nicely done, Danny. Nicely done. Well done. Take the chain off for me, Danny. Take the chain off. Just chuck it on the floor. Chuck it on the floor for me. Chuck it on the floor. Right, put the case down on the table. And And I want you to just press in the little white buttons there, and then you better lift the top half up. Do that for me. Great. Yeah, you can just lift. That's great. What's inside? What is that?
I hope it's not a mouse.
No, what is it?
It's box.
Another case. Take it out for me. There are 14 of these. Bear with us. Take it out for me. Take it out. OK, now look, the important thing is inside this, all right? Because I did this because I thought you might sneak a look in the side of that or crowbar it open. So the important thing's inside the case, inside the case. We will come back to that in a little bit. All right, you chose a paper which was the Daily Mail, OK? And you didn't want to change your mind, so we're going, it was Kirsty, isn't it? So Kirsty, we need to choose a page from the Mail. You are a little bit far away, so can I just grab a paper from the front there? Is that one of mine or one of yours? Is that one of mine? This is today's paper. Can you just verify into the mic there, please, that is today's date, yes?
Yeah.
Well, if any of you get the Times, you'll recognise it. Britain vows to imprison the tyrants of Africa. You'll recognise that if you get the Times. Now, these headlines are written to influence us. The way we think about the article, the way we read the issue, even the way we vote sometimes, all right? And similarly with advertising slogans, not like that. It affects the way we think about the product, the way we spend our money. I'm going to read you a bunch of headlines or advertising slogans. Your job, Danny, is to stop me any way you like while I'm reading one out. Whatever page we're on, that is the page we'll go with. But not in this, we'll go with it in the Mail over there with Kirsty. All right, does that make sense? So when you do say stop, you need to say stop really clearly into the mic. OK? And don't say it before I read something out. You can either say it while I'm reading one or just afterwards. Does that make sense? OK. Trying to avoid anything Miracle patient gets in the saddle. Gypsy moth rescued from South Sea reef. Sweetener is not a cancer risk.
Stop.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Sure? Want me to carry on? Then carry on if you like. You happy with that page?
Yeah.
OK, all right. There we are. Sweetener is not a cancer risk. Into the mic, please. The page is page...
14.
Page 14. You happy with 14?
Yeah.
Only if you are. Then 14 we'll go with. So, Kirsty, if you stand up for me, you want to pull out page 14 from the Daily Mail. So if you drop everything else, so you're just holding on to the corner of page 14, just literally drop everything else on the floor. You'll probably find it comes out with another page attached to it. That's fine. Great, it does. Do me a favour, tear it down the middle for me, just so you've got two separate pages. Doesn't have to be perfect, but if you can sort of try and get that relatively clean. Excellent, then just hold out a page in each hand for me, Kirsty. Great. No, great, lovely, thank you. All right, so look, we only need one or the other, so you're going to either hand one down to the lady on that side or one down to the lady on that side. If you can do that for me. Yeah, whichever one you... Thank you so much. If that lady could stand, you can sit down for me now, Kirsty. So what page have you got there? The one with 14 on it, or whatever was attached to it? It should probably be 70-something.
13.
You've got 13 and 14. You've got that side. OK, great. Will you have a look? What's your name, by the way?
Melissa.
Melissa. Will you have a look at both sides for me, Melissa? And you don't need to memorise anything, but just have a look at both sides and get it around the way you'd like to have it, and let me know when you've done that. Yep. And what page is that? What can I see? Hold it up for me like this. I can't. What page am I looking at there?
14.
14. Actually, was the number you said. We've sort of come back to it. But we could have gone either way with either page, and that's fine. OK, 14 it is then. Melissa, you need to start tearing that up. So if you can turn it landscape for me, tear it down the middle, put the two halves together, tear them again, put them together, tear them again. So we get a nice pile of papers. Very important, don't drop any. And also, please try not to screw them up, all right? So a nice, neat pile. As you do this... Oh. It's the nail. It starts to hurt about now. As you do this, can you come into the aisle as you do it, please? So keep tearing for me. A nice, neat pile of papers, please. Try not to drop any as you do it. Actually, you come right to the front. Keep tearing for me. Keep tearing until you feel you can't tear them anymore, all right? If you can come just down here for me, Melissa, that'll be great. Imagine one more. When you've done it, just hold out half in each hand. That's probably going to be as much... Great, turn to face me. That'll be great. Turn to face me. So look, now what you're going to do, this is the only point I'm not going to let you change a decision that's made, all right? I'm going to go with Melissa's decision, and I will go with your first decision, all right? When I click my fingers, just as we did back there, you're going to hand to me the half you'd like me to carry on with and the half you'd like me to use. The other half you can drop on the floor or whatever you like, OK? So when I click my fingers, the half that feels right to you, I'd like you to extend to me, and those will be the ones I use. Ready? Here we go. Sure? OK, so I've got to take these without dropping any myself. So let me take them like that. Perfect, wonderfully done. Round of applause for Melissa, I think. Thank you very much indeed, Melissa. All right, do you want to take the microphone for me and head over to the table with me, please? Head over the table for me. I'm going to put those there. Can you take a seat for me? Sorry, head over the table and just take a seat there for me. All right. OK. Now, look, we probably... I don't know how many we've got there exactly. If you give me a number between 1 and 10, I'll count off that number of pieces, all right? And again, you can change your mind. As with everything that you choose, you can change, all right? So don't feel committed to it. But into the mic, please, a number between 1 and 10. I'm going to count off that number of pieces that you tell me.
7.
7. Are you happy with the idea of me counting off 7 pieces, or do you want to change the number?
No, I'll stay.
Are
7.
you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will count off 7 pieces. Now, if I do anything other than count off 7 pieces, if I start taking extra pieces or swapping it, anything like that, you must say so into the mic, because you guys can see fairly clearly, but you have the clearest view here, right? You are the eyes of the audience and everybody watching this, all right? And everybody watching this on TV as well. Okay, here we go. I will count off 7 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, you can see these are all different as I do it. 6, 7. That is the 7th piece I'm removing. All right. Will you do me a favour? Will you please take the next piece for yourself? Okay. I won't even touch it. All right. So I won't, no, take it for yourself. I'm not going to touch it. All right. Okay. Now, you need to have a look at that. You need to choose a word on there. All right. So I'll take the mic from you. Have a look through it. Choose a word. What I want is a nice, long, interesting word on there. All right. Otherwise, all this will have been a bit pointless. Have a good read through it, and then give me a nice, long, or interesting word on there that you'd like to go with. One that you can read on there. What are you going to go with? Actually, if you come and say this into the mic, basically, if we end up with a word like the or under or whatever, at this point, it will seem a little bit of an anticlimax. So what was that again?
Influential.
Influential. Let's have a look. Okay, that's a very good word. Thank you. Okay, all right. Now, look, for the record, not the only long word on there. We've got overwhelmingly, establishment. There's quite a few, educational, but you're happy with influential, yes? Mm-hmm. Okay, if you are, then I am. We'll go with that. That's one word chosen from about 40 on there, but we can certainly see it as one word chosen from about, what, 2,000 words. It'll be on page 14 of the Daily Mail. It'll have about 2,000 words on it. There'll be about 80 pages in the Daily Mail, so that's 160,000 words just in the Daily Mail, yes? But there were 10 papers that you could have chosen from that were around the room, so that's 1.6 million different words that you had to choose from in this room, and you just, without me exaggerating, and you choose the word influential. Is that fair?
Yeah.
No. No. No, it's not. It is not fair. It's not. It's inevitable. It is not fair. It's inevitable that you chose the Daily Mail right there with Kirsty and didn't want to change your mind. Inevitable you said page 14 and didn't want to change your mind. I was so fair about that. Inevitable, Melissa, that you handed me that half with that word in it. And inevitable that you said to count off 7 pieces and not 3 or just 1 or all 10 or whatever. And that you ended up, out of all the long words on there, it was not the only long word on there, correct?
That's true.
Correct? That you chose the word influential. Let me show you why it's inevitable. Open it up. Open it. Good. Okay, you need to hold there for me. Sorry, hold there for me. And one more time into the mic, really loud. The word was?
Influential.
Influential. There it is. Influential. Danny, ladies and gentlemen, well done, Danny. Danny, thank you so very much indeed. Danny, everybody. Actually, wait. Sorry, just a second. You're all intelligent people. If you think that worked, you're going to think about this in the bar. You're going to be having a drink afterwards or driving home or up at 4 in the morning trying to work out how that worked. And you're going to think to yourself, and I'm only saying this because I know I would think this if I was watching it myself, all right? You're going to think, OK, we know you were a fair choice of person because you chose the monkey at the beginning. You caught that and we all took a vote. We were happy with you. And you could have changed your mind with the paper. You could have changed your mind with the page, even down to the word at the end. I was fair about that. So I think, well, maybe it didn't make any difference what she chose. If that was it. Maybe all that happened was Magic Boy here switches a bit of paper at the end, hopes she goes for that word or something, and, actually you took the paper yourself. It doesn't really make any sense, but it's easy to think. It's a comfortable thing to think that's what happened. But here's the point. Here's the thing. If that is what happened, and it didn't make any difference what paper you chose or what page and all that was rubbish, then that word influential, it wouldn't really be on page 14 of today's Daily Mail. And it is. It is. And if you get the Daily Mail when you go home, check it. It's in the comment article on the left-hand side of the page. Influential, near the beginning. And if you don't get the Daily Mail, you fucking buy a copy on your way home, check it when you get in. And if you still don't believe me, this is when we open the case within the case that you've had all the way through the show, and the case that was up here on stage with something in it from before we even threw the monkey out, all right? Open it up. What is that?
It's the Daily Mail.
The Daily Mail, take it out for me. Is that the whole of the Daily Mail?
No,
it's just one page inside. What is the page?
It's page 14.
Page 14, take it out for me. And yes or no, is there a word circled in a big red marker halfway down there?
Yeah, it's influential.
Influential, there it is, right there. Page 14, Daily Mail. Page 14, today's Daily Mail, right there. Check it yourselves. Can you get a camera on this? Can you read it? Can you read it? Danny, thank you so much. I'll let you head back. Danny, everybody. Thank you, Danny. Thank you all. Thanks for coming out tonight. Thank you for putting this place out. Good night. Actually, wait. Can we stop? Hang on. Sorry, can you just sit down again for a second for me? Sorry. You're all intelligent people. If you think that worked just because Danny and Melissa and Kirsty are somehow kind of easy to manipulate, you'd be right, in fact. But only because you all are, that's the point, because you all are. Because that had to work on all of you. Any of you could have caught the papers, any of you could have caught the monkey. It had to work on all of you. Let me explain. The whole of the show, you see, for me, has been kind of about hidden messages. They're the messages in the foyer that made Danny choose a mouse. At the beginning, she had to because of the messages that most of you think of an elephant. And the messages that I've been giving you over the last 2 hours to make you make those decisions, the Daily Mail, page 14, the word influential, you had to, any of you would have done. Let me tell you what I've been doing. We've been filming little bits from the wings, just little clips of the show. And there's a guy called Coops backstage who edits them together and makes a little film, a short film of the show. Let me show you the film from tonight's show. So look, you remember how it started? Because Danny chose a mouse, she came up, read the thing out, it was a mouse, that was correct, and then she read out, I gave her the briefcase. Now the thing with this, with all of these things, you will remember that I said, or you'll remember, because at the time they trip you up. They make, what did he say? And then you start to forget about them. But if I don't play this to you, you forget to remember. You forget to remember. I'll play this to you, you will remember to remember. Listen, so this is what I said with the briefcase, listen. Very simple, you get a number in your head, you turn it to that number, all right? So you get a 14 in your head, you turn it to 14. Get a 14 in your head, listen to that again. You get a 14 in your head, you get a 14 in your head. You get a 14 in your head. Danny gets a 14 in her head right from the start. Danny can see peripherally the page numbers of the Times as I'm going through. She doesn't know that she's doing it, but she does, and she stops me on page 14 because it feels right. And I know I can say to her twice, in fact, do you want to change? Do you want to change the page? Do you want to change? She won't, because it feels right, so she won't change. And then we did the line game, and before the line game I said that you should all think of the surname of the first person you had a crush on when you were young. Yes? But it's not quite what I said, not the first time. And you'll remember because it would have tripped you up, but you'll remember now when I play this. Listen to what I said. You can all think of, male, the surname of the first person you had a crush on when you were young. Listen to that bit again, just listen to that bit again. Think of, male, think of, male. Think of mail, the Daily Mail, all right? And that was the one, when I was throwing the papers out, and as I came off the stage, I said, Daily Mail, oh no, we've had the Daily Mail, I mentioned it. And you went straight for that one, Daddy, because it sticks in your head. And all of you would have done the same thing, straight for that one, the one that I mentioned, the Daily Mail. And then, after the line game, I spoke about there being brochures outside for psychic courses you could go. It's rubbish, there aren't any courses, there aren't any brochures, don't look for them, they don't exist. But it allowed me to say this, listen. There are some fantastically expensive courses you can go on to learn psychic powers. And if you choose page £1,400 a week to learn rubbish, then that's up to you. Choose page 14, choose page 14. Choose page 14. Yes, it's inevitable. And we know it's inevitable because Melissa and Kirsty did the same thing. They did this, Kirsty passed across the 13, 14 page. Melissa decides to go with the 14 side, not the 13 on the other side. Inevitable. See, proof. And then, during the line game, I had the first guy come forward, I think Tony was his name, and I spoke about how people give themselves away when they're lying, and I sort of tried to put him on the spot, and you kind of laugh because it's like a little joke, and you laugh at it, but you forget, then you miss what I said just beforehand with this guy, which actually was quite blatant. But listen again. Because of the sorts of unconscious behaviours that we unconsciously choose daily, male subjects tend to get themselves a little bit more away from females. Choose daily, male. Choose daily, male. Choose daily mail, choose daily mail. You would have done, any of you would have done. She didn't want to change her mind. She didn't want to change her mind. I was so fair. I was so fair about it. And then you go for a drink. You go for a drink, you come back after the drink, I hammer a nail into my nose, and I came to the front of the stage. I don't know what you thought I said at this point. It was just rubbish. It was just rubbish coming out of my face. But listen to it now. Listen to what I said.
Do you hammer daily a number 14 male into your head? Hammer daily a number 14 male into your head. Hammer daily a number 14 male into your head.
Hammer, you get it? Hammer? Yeah, hammer, daily. Daily number 14 male into your head. Yes? And then, let me unroll the tarpaulin. I came to the front of the stage and spoke about pain being subjective. And oh God, here's the thing. You all knew the word. You knew it was going to be influential all the way through the second half of the show. You knew it was going to be, but you didn't know that you knew. Because Melissa had to know, because when Melissa was tearing up the paper, you had to tear around that word. You had to keep track of it and tear around it without knowing that's what you were doing, and then know which half to give me. She tore around it. Listen to what I said. Listen.
Pain is very subjective. It's a subjective thing. Like when you're young and you tear around influential and you cut yourself. You don't realise that you're cut until you look down and you see the blood, and then suddenly it starts to hurt. Tear around influential. Tear around influential.
Tear around influence, exactly what you put all that together over the last 2 hours. You put all that together. This is what you've been hearing without realising you've been hearing it.
You get a 14 in your head. Think of male. Choose page 14. Choose daily. Male. Hammer daily a number 14 male into your head. Tear around influential. Tear around influential. Influential.
Influential. That's why it was the Daily Mail. That's why it was page 14, not 13 on the other side. And that's why it was the word influential. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for coming out tonight. And thank you for playing. Good night.
Darren Brown's book, Tricks of the Mind, is in shops now, priced $18.99.